The OTS championships are done, and yes, we have ABC Centurion. You can finally get to see what that deck is doing, and we have way more deck list for you, too. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more. We're starting off here with our Centurion build, playing the Horus good stuff. This was within the realm of expectations. We figured that most people would be trying out the Horus package, because putting those free level 8s on the field so you can kind of cycle through them, putting the aggression on your opponent, is most of the game plan. But you also get a splash of some Fenrir's in here, as is the TCG special. And you also see, of course, the Vision Resonators being that free tuner monster that gets to beam itself out so the deck can do its thing. We are playing double Sarcophagus, which I think is fine. You also see that we are playing the Phalanx in here as our trap of choice. None of the negate that sends the spell and trap now. Most of our extra deck down here, you're playing double Legatia, the one Blazar, the only one Crimson Dragon, and the one King Calamity. Most of this is going to be extremely straightforward. There's not a lot of real creative push that you really get to make in a deck like this, but I do like how this looks like it has been figured out. Good stuff. Next up here, we have our ABC. We're actually playing super heavy samurai scales. Oh boy, and I see that we're playing a Horus package. Man, you really just wanted to play everything for this deck, which is kind of cool, I suppose. You know, you get the chance to kind of see all of the ideas that players are kind of bringing to the table out here for a deck like this, to at least make it look like we're trying. And sure, I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's a lot of moving pieces for really, what little achievement are you getting? I mean, you pendulum summon out your ABC pieces. I mean, your ABC pieces are reduced down to 1A, 2B, 1C. So that's kind of it. And then it's just a bunch of other good stuff. Obviously, the Ancient Fairy Dragon stuff for you to be able to filter through is kind of interesting, but I don't know. This feels like one of those piles of cards I'm going to come back to later and go, yeah, okay, that was actually a lot more insane than I initially thought it would be. Next up here we have, oh boy, somebody decided that it was going to be a good idea to play the Insetti package with runic cards, and we're also playing the full armored package in here as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I think all of these moving pieces coming together so that you can generate advantage. This package gets you a net 3. Oh wait, we're not playing Giant Trainer, never mind. I thought we were playing some really cute cards. You also have Board Breaker Golem here to assist you, and then you play this adventure package to ensure that you can set up like a sub-negate, and then you're just kind of off to the races. Like, also, I mean, you have the reverse backdoor to some pretty cool interactions with our horse in here, but this is interesting. It gives you free escaping to get these terrible cards out of your hand while you're deck thinning out the Horus cards, and then you're just putting them on the field and forcing your opponent to either deal with that or the constant advantage that you're getting with the runic stuff. Okay. Next up here, we have Flanderies. You know, I'm happy to see that Flunder did do well at an OTS championship. Like, the deck has been kind of off in the back distance, struggling just a little bit to handle the things that the meta has been throwing at it. I believe one of the notes was they wanted a second Doomsday Star in the extra deck, which is kind of cool, considering, but I mean, how many times is like Doomsday Star going to actually come up for Flunder? It shouldn't be coming up a lot. I do see that we are playing the double copies of the Featherstorm, which, let's kind of call it what it is. Like, we're not even citing the third. We actually have the dimensional barrier down there, mainly because, once again, of the thrust interactions. You know, you'll be able to set up and toggle through them and then continue on with your day. And I do see that we are playing the one Unexplored Winds, main decking the Feather Duster. It's kind of interesting. And then we actually bring in some additional books down here for more aggression on the opponent to make sure that, you know, we can kind of out those big troublesome fields. Yeah, Flunder and face down cards. Next up here, we have a Rescue Ace Express. Now, this is, once again, our Rescue Ace deck is so good we can get away with playing Gate Guardian in it and actually laugh at our opponents as they look at us and go, what is that garbage on the field? Why do I have to deal with that? Well, you don't actually play this whatsoever. This is just a brick that they can say that they played a Gate Guardian in the deck. The rest of the Rescue Ace cards take care of everything that you need to do. I see that we are playing double Fenrir. You do play the Jet Synchron Toggle Up. We actually can make Omega in this deck. Well, Omega off of a Diabell Star plus a Jet Synchron is kind of cute. Not exactly something I thought I would be seeing this deck make, but Okay. And then, of course, our brick that probably got cited out every game. Hey, you know what? This is just a good case of I can play good cards and a bad card in my deck. You play 45 to make sure you don't draw the brick, just to say that you could do it. Absolutely hilarious. Next up here, we have some good stuff, but we're playing the high rate draw. Remember, it's destroy 2 or more monsters you control, and if you do draw a card, for every 2 monsters destroyed. So it's a draw 1, but your tier monsters will get to trigger. And then during your opponent's main phase, if this is in your grave and target 1 monster you control, destroy it. Oh, my tier monster. And if we set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Oh no. This is just for triggering tier interactions on your opponent so that they're forced to actually hate playing the game. Yeah, honestly, I think this card is pretty cute for what it gives to the deck. I don't know if it's going to be something incredibly consistent that will show up more often or not, but you know what? You take your tech choices where I think that you can get them at this point in time. Like, especially high rate draw. Okay, sure. I have not seen a lot of other tier players actually try this. We've seen this card show up in other decks over time, but okay, not here. Next up here, we have Purely. And, you know, I enjoy the standard Purely experience. I think it does kind of show that the deck is a very consistent monster for doing the things that it needs to do. Let's not take that away from Purely. All right, the Cat in the Hat deck does extremely aggressive things when it needs to. You board in the summon limits, your opponent goes into what I like to call the cannot phase. All right, they cannot play the game. You go like this and you call it a day. All right, that's honestly kind of the experience. I'm not taking anything away from it. I think the deck is by far one of the most consistent reminders of what the game is right now, and it is Big Cat Go Purr. No fun allowed for you, duelist. Outside of that, I mean, what more can you really bring in with this deck? You know, post-side decking, I mean, you pretty much set up everything and, you know, you just control your opponent out of the game. Yay, cats! Next up here, we have, Spirit Good Stuff. Okay, so Exosister set up, blast your opponent out of the game so they actually can't play the game. I see that Triple Pot of Prosperity. We're playing 1 thrust. That thrust gets us into a Change of Heart Herald, talents. We side deck in the additional thrust as well, which is actually pretty good. I am happy to see that one Exosister Duelist has returned back to playing Zeus. We did see Zeus was falling out of favor a little bit, which is so strange to me too, because Zeus is that card that helps this deck out so much, in my opinion. Like, Zeus just makes sure that, you know, hey, you have a backup plan in case something goes wrong at Magnifica Central, you know. And typically, I mean, it's a lot of things can go wrong. You are playing Exosister. Exosister's success still strictly depends on, you know, what's involved in the meta at the time, and, you know, it still can do stuff, but I don't think it's really too crazy all that much anymore. Next up here we have Manadeum. Okay. Okay, the first crazy little thing I see down here is Hey Trunade in the side deck. Okay, well, Hey Trunade ensures that, you know, we can bounce back everything that is set, which means your opponent's going to have to auto-trigger it right away. If not, you just watch it go whoop and bye. Have a beautiful time. There goes all the back row. It seems incredibly good, especially with, depending on how your localized meta is, how much back row decks that you are aware of existing in the meta. This cleans it up straight away. See, also, I love the fact that they're so worried about the cat deck. They have the Xyz Encores and they have the Herald of the Abyss in here as well. Outside of that, looks just kind of like a normal day. The double crossout does feel kind of interesting, not committing to 3 of that. We board in the other one if we really need to, along with the other droll. Interesting for deck building. And our last list here is Unchained, with an Sinful Spoils package in Decatron to drop Deviati or Patrulli. Okay. I see that we've gotten very, very intriguing out here for the ideas that you can mess around with for Unchained. I've not seen a single soul merging these packages together, but sure enough, you have this working. Okay, you know what? I'm going to clap for it. This is what I like to see for innovation. This does prove to me that players are trying what might be some of the most interesting ideas for sure. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.